Hi everyone, welcome to Clone Compounding, where our mission is to learn from others in order to achieve financial independence. In today's video, we look at our top 3 takeaways from the book Narrative and Numbers, written by the brilliant Professor Aswath Damodaran. Professor Damodaran is known as the Dean of Valuation. He's a world-renowned expert in valuations, which means how much a company should be worth. He's a professor of finance at NYU's Stern School of Business and an author of many best-selling books on finance and investing. Before we get started, please smash that like button so others can find this video as well. Let's dive in. Takeaway 1. There are 2 tribes: numbers people and narrative people. According to Professor Damodaran, from middle school, the world divides people into 2 categories: the storytellers and the number crunchers, and once divided, the groups largely stay within their tribe. The numbers people go on to numbers disciplines in colleges, engineering, physical sciences, finance and accounting, while the storytellers go to social sciences, history, literature, philosophy. In the world of business and management, these 2 tribes come together. Professor Damodaran says that one of the most important lessons he has learned on valuation is that a valuation that is not backed up by a story is both soulless and untrustworthy. Takeaway 2. Good valuation requires both a story and a spreadsheet. While most of us may think valuation is all about numbers, Professor Damodaran suggests that a good valuation is a bridge between understanding and tying together both the company's story, which includes its vision, ambitions, and the company's numbers, which includes its financial statements. We need both because only storytelling can lead us to fantasy land quickly, which is a problem in investing, as we saw during the 2000 dot-com boom and bust, as well as the 2021-22 pandemic-related boom and bust. Numbers allow us to stay disciplined and grounded in today's facts, but without stories behind them, they become weapons of intimidation and bias rather than discipline. There are many examples where the numbers do not fully capture the valuation, such as Amazon, which do not generate any meaningful profit for first 15 years until the arrival of Amazon Web Services. But from the beginning, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos had a relentless focus on customers. In other words, he had a compelling story, making it one of the biggest and best companies in the world today. Another example is Tesla, which from a numbers perspective was on the verge of bankruptcy, and perhaps even today, numbers alone cannot account for its valuation. According to Professor Damodaran, good storytelling can make a huge difference in the success of a business, especially early in its life. To be a successful business, not only do you have to build a better mousetrap, but you have to tell a compelling story about why that mousetrap will conquer the business world to investors, to raise capital, to customers, to induce purchases, and to employees, to get them to work for you. Takeaway 3. Great stories are simple, credible, authentic, and emotional. According to Professor Damodaran, a business narrative is less about specifics and details and more about big picture and vision. This vision, in the form of a narrative, must be simple yet credible, as well as authentic and emotional. It must come from the heart. Storytelling in business comes with more constraints than storytelling in novels, since you're measured not just on creativity, but on being able to deliver on your promises. Professor Damodaran says that stories create connections and get remembered, but numbers convince people. They give a sense of precision to even the most imprecise stories, and putting a number on a judgment call makes you feel more comfortable when dealing with uncertainty. Look at some of the companies that crashed by over 80% during the 2022 pandemic stock market crash, such as Palantir, Coinbase, Carvana. Most of them had a good story, but as the macro environment changed, the numbers part that measures company performance could not stack up to the narratives, leading to significant drop in their valuations. So to summarize, a much better approach to valuation is to blend together both the numbers and the underlying narrative. To come up with a good valuation, you have to be able to talk and understand both languages. You have to take the numbers and then give them context on the basis of the background narrative. Stories without numbers are little more than fairy tales, and numbers without stories are exercises in financial modeling. A good valuation is a bridge which will draw on both the numbers and the stories to come up with a figure that makes sense. According to Professor Damodaran, in effect, valuation allows each side to draw on the other, forcing storytellers to see the parts of their stories that are improbable or implausible and to fix them, and number crunchers to recognize when their numbers generate a storyline that does not make sense or is not credible. Alright, that's it from us everyone. Hope you learned from these 3 takeaways from the book Narrative and Numbers. Be sure to smash that like button, thanks for watching and subscribe for more.